Hey, core reporters, welcome back to my channel. Things are looking really bad for Wendy Williams. Last week, I ran a story featuring her son, Kevin Hunter Jr., who did an interview with The Sun claiming that he feels as though she is close to the end because the people around her are enabling her and her addiction issues. But now, The Sun has actually revealed part two of the interview that they did with him. And this time, Kevin Jr. is claiming that even the judge had threatened him with arrest if he forced his mom to stay in Florida versus returning her to New York City, where I assume she is more profitable for her team. These days, he's claiming that he's actually even scared to see her because of this threat of arrest. And I've got to say, like, it is quite scary. You know what this reminds me of? It didn't catch enough attention when it happened. And that in part is my fault as someone who creates content on the internet, but Kanye West has a handler who is someone who was supposed to be his fitness coach or whatever. And Kanye West, when he started going on his rants or whatever, the handler started taunting him via text messages, claiming that if he didn't do X, Y, or Z, he would place him in a 5150 hold again, which just felt really unfair and gross and whatnot. Again, it didn't catch the kind of heat that it should have caught, but this is what it's reminding me of. Just the whole, just having a really kind of bad, evil team around you or whatnot. Just really, ugh. Anyway, not that what Kanye was doing was correct. It's just the way in which the trainer was speaking to him. Like, look it up if you haven't yet, and you'll see what I mean by what I'm saying here. So let's get into the interview, shall we? Kevin Hunter Jr. claimed that the judge presiding over Wendy Williams, who is named Lisa Sokoloff, she threatened to charge him with kidnapping if he didn't help get her back to New York City when he was helping to take care of her in Florida last year. So you might be wondering, probably not if you're a longtime Wendy watcher, but just in case, why Wendy Williams was in Florida? Well, that's where she's from, you guys. Well, not where she's from, but that's where her family, that's where her home base is. Her father's there. Her mother, when she was alive, she was living with her father there. And her son obviously lives there and whatnot. So that's home for her. And so I think he just wanted her to be around her family and whatnot as she was healing and trying to kick her addiction. This is what he looks like these days. He looks very lovely. You know, I like his hair. It looks like it's grown out well. So in this interview with The Sun, Kevin said, and I quote, "The judge threatened me with arrest and said I'd be held in contempt of court if I didn't bring her back to New York. I'm so scared that I haven't really been up there to see her since the courts. When they hear I'm coming to visit, they try to change things up, like they have to prepare for me. So it seems as though they are avoiding allowing Wendy spending time with her son, which is really wild." I know that in the last interview that he gave, where he claimed that the team is allowing her to indulge and slip back into her addiction and whatnot. He talked about her being hospitalized 3 times in the span of about 48 hours. The team really, like, they just like shot out of the woodworks to deny everything it was that he was saying. So there is something quite odd, I do have to say, about just like how they're watching everything like a hawk, trying to contradict everything it is that he says about her health. I don't see why Wendy Williams' son would lie about her hospitalizations. I don't see why her son would lie about her being in Florida, trying to take care of her down there. Like, I'm not seeing the reason why he would lie about any of this. You know what I mean? Anyway, he continued on to tell The Sun, and I quote, "If there was a way that I could help that wouldn't end up with me being arrested, I would be doing that." How sad. Imagine how helpless you would feel to have a parent in the public eye suffering from addiction. You try to help out, but you are barred from it and you are allegedly threatened with jail time for trying to do your best to keep her grounded and around her family members. Why would Wendy have to be forced to go back to New York City? Like, she's not working. Like, at the time she was living there because she had her show and everything. But at this moment, she doesn't have that stuff. Yeah, I know they've been trying to book her for things, but those things have been flopping left, right, and center. She's been having to pull out because she is just not mentally, emotionally, physically healthy for this stuff. But are they keeping her up there because they want to have the potential? There's not enough clients booking in Florida or something. I don't know what it is, but I do feel really, really sadly for Kevin. It seems like he's traumatized already from his dirty peen father's cheating and having the outside baby, the divorce, watching his mom's very public downward spiral, and now being threatened with jail time by a judge for trying to help his mom the best way he knew how as well. I feel for him, and I really hope that he has the health and support that he needs through this time, because this cannot be easy. I don't know how I would feel, what I would do. Like, just the helplessness of it all is truly, truly, truly heartbreaking. Honestly, Kevin Jr., I feel for you, man. And I hope that this works itself out eventually. I know it's scary, and I know it sucks, and it's hard, and it's sad, and it's heartbreaking that you're not allowed to do anything here. But I do hope that it ultimately ends up working out. The U.S. Sun did ultimately end up reaching out to the judge that Kevin was referencing here, and Judge Sokoloff responded with, as this is a pending matter, it would not be appropriate to comment further. Well, there you go. There you go. And mind you, Wendy's manager, I forgot to say, Will Selby. And here's another thing that's weird about the situation. So Wendy's manager, this Will guy, whose comments we're going to get into, he used to be her jeweler. How do you go from being a jeweler to a manager? You know what I mean? She used to have this, wasn't her real manager Bernie something? And he was like a really high powered manager. How did this jeweler turn into her manager? Like, to me, this is another sign of just anybody, just these people looking for a come up who don't know what they're doing being around her. So after Kevin initially released round 1 of his interview with the Sun, talking about Wendy relapsing again with her addiction, her manager, Will Selby, released a statement to Entertainment Tonight saying, and I quote, "If your mother was near death, would the first thing you do be call an online publication?" Okay, so that's all I have about that. That's just so snarky and rude, because who's to say that that is the first thing that Kevin did? It seems as though Kevin tried to keep her amongst her family in Florida, but ultimately was threatened with arrest for doing that. And he feels as though you, Mr. Jeweler, and the people around Wendy are shady. And so he wants to speak out just to have it on the record before anything happens. So the way that you just like spoke down to her son like that just rubs me the wrong way. And to me, it just goes to show that, yeah, Kevin might be telling the truth here. More than likely is telling the truth here. Almost certainly is telling the truth here. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Is something going on with Wendy Williams' team? Are they leading her to her downfall and preventing her son and her family from being able to help? Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.